As I start to be exposed to the forbidden books, such as Jubilees and the 2 books of Maccabees, I'm being allowed awareness of motivations. Like, I was so grateful to get this because it restores the original meanings that were mistranslated intentionally or unintentionally through the ages. But even the one whose face is associated with this book has like a weekly radio thing and says, oh, I'm not a prophet, but prophesies about what's going to happen. And because I wasn't exposed to it until after several episodes were uploaded, I could hear the episodes and see that all his prophecies turned out to be wrong. And he was teaching about the menorah and associated each of the candles with a festival and left it at that. We sit here coming out of Christendom, which means the false religions associated with Christianity, wondering, what is the abomination, the desecration that causes desecration? What is that? Because that's one of the signs in Revelation. Well, it's in these forbidden books. It's when a foreign ruler, the representative of a foreign ruler, sacrificed a pig on the altar in the temple in Jerusalem. Now we know, just as the first century disciples, in English we would say Joshua, disciples of Joshua, the Messiah, they would have known what that was. The sacrifice of a pig on the altar. And then we learn the menorah, Hanukkah, the candles are lit in remembrance of the miracle of the oil that lasted for 8 days while they prepared more oil. They expressed faith, knowing that normally that oil would not have lasted, but they lit it anyways, and it did last. And we'll see that in a lot of people who are prideful of the intellectual knowledge that our Creator has given them with a goal and a purpose. But want the faith and the trust to be in the intellectual intelligence, not aware or given as much inclusion in our experience with our Creator of the miraculous. We're given to be allowed to light a candle every day, to prepare the oils for it, especially those of us who prepare things for those we love. We know the value, we appreciate the activity in preparing a meal and the joy of being so in tune and knowing which ingredients, what's going to make a heart delight, what's going to help restore a body that is uncomfortable. And so these are gifts. God doesn't need anybody to build a temple. If God can form a human being out of clay to form mountains, could just as easily form up a temple. It's a gift to be a part of a process that brings honor and glory to our Creator. And then popped in the understanding of motivation. It's not enough to hate this world. It's not enough to despise the destruction of healthy ecosystems, of our physical health, the pollution and contamination and abomination of our food chain, our food supply. It's not enough to just hate that. We have to have a sincere love for our Creator, the one allowing us to go through this maturation process, to experience the extremes of these violations, so we can appreciate why when He says, no, don't do that, we believe Him. And we can tell other people, oh no, you don't want to do that. We know where that goes. We know where that leads. No. And so I'm getting a lot out of being exposed. And it's opening the door for our Creator to bring more awareness and understanding and appreciation of everything going on around me that went on through history, stuff like that. So I'm just sharing that appreciation. And every time I get a new revelation about how we're deceived, it's just the hurt and the pain. It isn't comfortable knowing these things. But it's just like them building the temple in Jerusalem. A bunch of Christians that just don't like their American government. And so they just want to see an end to it. They hate their slavery, but it doesn't mean they love God enough to find out the truth, to appreciate all that He's done. It's like I told the story previously of the guy who would bring food to a family that was struggling because they had so many children. And he didn't do it because he loved the family. He did it because he thought the parents were doing a crappy job. And how many people who are Christian give and look after the homeless just because they feel like they can't do it themselves. They're not capable of it. They don't know what's good for them. They're just evil and vile. And God says we have to take care of them, so we do. It's like those who don't give money to homeless people who are known to drink. More than once in the scriptures, it talks about drinking and rejoicing. It's not for a king to get drunk, but to the poor, let them have their wine. To those suffering from incurable disease, let them have their hard liquor. It might be the only happiness they ever know. But they ignore that. They don't want to read that. they'd just rather condemn and pat themselves on the back for being charitable. I don't know why that word just rubs me wrong. Charity. It feels more like throwing pearls to swine. Like, the people who engage in charity, they get paid to do it. The people who work for those organizations make more money than goes into anything that's going to serve the people it's intended to help, that the charities are supposed to help. So yeah, I've learned a lot about human character. And I'm learning more about how it relates to our relationship with our Creator. And I go on